Hello, gamer. Welcome to ZGC. My name is Aurelius, and today we are getting into some Eternal. The brand new set came out on Tuesday. Meant to do a video on it yesterday, but just didn't get around to it. I was going through some turmoil in my personal life. So hope you all understand that and bear with me if like videos aren't coming out as usual when it's just because I'm dealing with some stuff personally in my personal life, in my real life. So, but before we get into it, go ahead and hit that like button and then hit that subscribe button along with that notification, and make sure you select all after you hit that little bell. That way you get notified every time I upload a new video to YouTube. You can also follow me on social media. Links will be down there in the description. And ooh, what's this? The avatar can attack sites. What? And when it attacks a unit, it silences it. That hammer is ridiculous. So this is what the Echo of Eternity pack looks like. Been saving these packs to open up here on camera. Oh, I've been eyeing this card. I'm glad I got one. Like, kill each unit with 2 or fewer than battle scrolls. That'd be really great for people that like to fill the battlefield up with like Grenadin or cultists, those little 1/1 time and shadow cultists. So they'll just destroy everything, and just, or those relic decks too with those rats. Those rats. Those rats get vicious. Get overwhelmed by some rats so pretty quickly. I know there's bunch of other cards that we could be looking at like this, but a lot of this will be detailed later on in the video. I just want to see what these rare cards do, because usually rare cards and some rare cards, in my opinion, have better abilities than the original. So they discard units from their deck until they discard a unit. So that's kind of like the very first Airmont card. We've seen the 3/6 flying, and it has charge if there's no units on the field. That one has Aegis, so most likely it can get an attack off. And is that a dragon? Oh, I could put this in my dragon deck. Increase the damage of each spell in your hand by 3. Oh my gosh. Red blue decks must be going crazy with this one. And create and draw 3 copies of the spell in hand. Like, oh man, just ridiculous. But what we're gonna do is, I already have the deck set up. I need to go finish setting it up. So I'll be back once I do that. But it'll basically show you. All I'm gonna do is show the brand new mechanic that got added with this set, and the uh different cards that have unique abilities, that are, or that have abilities unique to the Echoes of Eternity set. So once I finish putting this deck together, I'll come back and hopefully we can get through everything. But no guarantees. I'll show you the deck when before we get started, and I'll see you once I get this deck put together. Okay, so here we are. We're in a casual match. I'm not trying to mess with my throne ranking with this deck. By no means was built to win, and we could already see a couple of the cards I want to kind of show off here. First and foremost would be these tokens. So there's brand new tokens. I didn't count how many, but usually 3 color combinations that didn't exist before are here. Let's see. We got tons. We need shadow. That's what we need. So I'm gonna use these tokens and play 2 shadow with them. Other cards, there's ton, a ton of brand new strangers, and this is just one of them. And it also has the corrupted ability, which on my next turn I'll show you what that's all about. Basically, when the unit dies, you pay the corrupted cost, and you can do its summon ability again. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw him out, and I think we're good. Oh no, we need to start working on primal just in case this one card does come up. It's a red, like each faction got a brand new breath, and with this set, they've really gone back to focusing on uh, single faction units, meaning one color cards. As you see, I have a myriad of them in my hand. And I don't think this guy is going to kill this unit, so I can show you how the corrupted ability works. Well, it's good that he has 2 health, so I can kind of show off what you can do once the enemy is corrupted. So I'm going to go ahead and play this guy. I only have one of them in this deck, so the fact that I drew him. But it's a brand new stranger, so any stranger, whether it be yours or the enemy's, of course. Alright. Yay, he killed it.
Our aim is clear.
Alright, so whether it be yours or the enemy's, you will have that effect, and all the brand new strangers have, or almost all the brand new strangers have some kind of effect like that, including 5 brand new legendary ones, which are just absolutely ridiculous. Like there's one that will kill like units of a single faction. There's one that silences, and it gets nuts when you get into the strangers. Okay, so with this corrupted unit, when a corrupted unit dies, it becomes a shade, as you see on there in shade. So if you pay the corrupted cost, you can redo its summon cost. And since this summon cost was influence, we can go ahead and do that again. But at the same time, you can still play weapons and spells on him as well, on that unit as well. So, and you can use it as a blocker. Though every single shade has absolutely 0 attack, so you will have to buff it up if you do want to attack with it. But it can also serve as a blocker. And at the end of your turn, it will lose 1 health. So if you don't do anything with it and don't buff it up, then it will die on its own. So if you have the summon effects, or they're corrupted and you have the power to pay the summon effects, you might as well do it. And usually the summon effects are the same cost as the unit. Usually there are a few corrupted units where it'll be a 6 drop, but its corrupted cost is 8. There's not too many cards like that, but there are cards like that. Ooh, he's killing my stranger. And he turned my other corrupted unit into a frog, which is nice. So we're gonna go digging through our pile here. Ooh, yay! Another card I wanted to show off. And power. Power is good. Alright, let's see if this guy would actually get some units so I can show off these brand new spells. While he's doing his turn, I'll go ahead and show what this card does. Each of the 3 color factions that have been added, I can't name all the color combinations right off the top of my head, all the faction combinations right off the top of my head, but each of the 3 color ones will all have a display card. And they're pretty cool. They do some pretty awesome things. Like this one in particular, deal 1 damage to each enemy, kill an enemy relic, and give each of his relics void bound. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now, because I don't need him getting 5/5 dragons. And if you got a counter, go ahead and waste your last card, please, please. Oh, thank you. You're not getting that back, and all those spells you just casted are a complete waste. Love it, I love it. So there's that, and then they also have a chant in factions, and when you play these, they're kind of like the cargo cards that came out with the Defiance set, I want to say it is. But basically you play it if you have 2 influence in each, you can um invoke it, and you see the invoke here. Ooh, I will definitely. Ooh, sudden schism. I'll take the berserker, dude, because berserk is fun. But yeah, if you have two influence in each of the corresponding factions, you can invoke it, and card from each of the factions that is on the card will go on it. If you don't have the influence, you can still draw a power card. Like I said, it's kind of like the cargo cards, where if you played it without the corresponding influence, you don't get that extra card, but you can still draw a power. So whether you decimate it or not, you'll still get a power card from it. So, and it costs one, so why not use it instead of seek power? Add a little bit more variety to your deck. Then this little guy right here, I love him because just uh, 5-1 frog with overwhelm. Picked him up in the draft. If you're running a totem deck, yeah, he'll be very good.
Our
So let's get
aim
this guy
is
out here.
clear.
I don't think this guy is gonna have any units. Why do I have time influence? That makes no sense. I have no time in this deck. That's okay. Oh, we'll get him out next turn. So I want him to play a unit. So I think this is only on. Oh no, just
Our aim is
give a
clear.
unit. All right. So I can't onslaught. We'll go ahead and play this one. Reason why I put this card in a deck, you see the name of it, Brood of Aramont, which this deck is, or this new set is all about Aramont taking out the land of Zolta in the Eternal Realm, which there's been a lot of things happening out there in Zolta. Why do I have time in this deck? This makes no sense. Maybe I added something and didn't realize I added it. Or maybe this guy put something into my deck. I hate the fact that he has no units. I really do. This is not what I was hoping for this video. But the other type of cards I want to show off, like each faction has some kind of fast spell. Like this, where if you decimate it, you can also invoke. So there's multiple ways to invoke. It's no longer uh, restricted to those Makar cards, or not Makar, those Promises by Firelight cards. Those 4-drop units, which was the listener for each one of the respective Zoltan gods. Now you can just invoke, as you've seen, we invoked, what, twice that game without any of those units, and I kind of did that purposely. So we'll go ahead and get to another match, and I'll see you once the battle's loaded. Okay, so here we are. I mean, we did get into another battle, but the guy quit like 2 turns there. It just wasn't worth showing off. But we did get 2 of the other cards I want to show off. So each faction has a card like this where you may exhaust it to make it cost 2 less. So even though like Linray's Kiss costs 7, if you exhaust a unit, meaning play it on your unit and it won't be able to block next turn, unless it has endurance, then you can activate the effects. I think my favorite one is this, and it's all nice and cheap and everything too. So hopefully we get a sigil next turn. That way we can play it and show the
Another cloud.
awesomeness of that card. So nope, no sigil. This spell right here is kind of useless right now because we have nobody in the void, and this card is not going to do enough damage to it. So, nope, I am not going to take that hit. But I'll tell you what I will do. Oh, oh, I forgot this guy like has a thing where every time you play a relic weapon, he gets +1/+1. So if you're running a relic weapon deck, this Kazuo melee virtuoso would be a really good cheap option. You know, and keep your opponents from trying to take out your very precious relic weapons. All right, so what we're gonna do here is we are gonna play the Thunder of Wings, which if you're running a dragon deck, is just absolutely amazing. Give me that primal sigil, and I don't like any of these options. Right, instead of attacking with him, we'll go ahead and play that on him. Now he won't be able to block, but I get a 4/2 flying dragon with charge. Which I just absolutely love. And there's like one more thing I want to show you guys. It has to deal with something over here in the market. Ooh, I didn't realize this was a 3-drop. Ah, so how I'm gonna do this? This is one of the cards. Each faction has a card like this too, where give one of your units something, and then you can um what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, you give your units something, and then you give it to a card in your and then you give it to a unit or a weapon in your hand, or a unit or spell in your hand. That's what I want to say. And after this, we'll go show off the entirety of the deck. That way, we make sure we didn't miss any of this new goodness that this set has brought. So I'll probably do that next turn. All right, I've already invoked him. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and decimate it. Let's go ahead and grab our Chateau. And what are you going to give me? Still nothing good. Me no likey. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice the Virtuoso with the block here. And then we go ahead and sacrifice him. Give me this guy. Because, oh, I get 2 cards. That's right. And give me this. I really don't care about the power right now. And we need to try to get this guy cut down to size. Let's see if there's anything in my deck that can possibly take that thing out. No. Nope, nope, nope. Let's go ahead and grab the Blazing Salvo. That way I can show you guys one of the things I was talking about. And I know you saw that Linray's Codex, that legendary. Oh, I'm not even going to survive this turn. Wasn't watching my power. Anyway, we'll go over the deck list, and like I said, we'll show you some things like market manipulation and some single faction relics that just are absolutely ridiculous. And each faction got one being Fire, Primal, Shadow, and Justice. So, thing I wanted to see, as you see in my market, except for that, I don't know why that's not 2. Each faction also got these touch cards. So as you see with the Shadow, gives revenge with... Why do I have Provoke the Dragons in there? That's not what I want. But if you just type in touch into your search bar, they should all pop up. So the fire gives double damage, primal gives overwhelm, and the shadow gives revenge. I think the justice one, it gives lifesteal, I want to say, and I don't know what the time one gives. Let's see if we have a time one. Yes, touch battle gives deadly. That's what it is. You know, all those are two, except for the touch of force, which is three. But like I was saying, with the market and all the cards that were in here are all from the Echoes of Eternity set. Of this right here, market manipulation, deal 2 damage to a unit. You know, you may swap a card from your hand with 2 cost in your market, and it has to be 2 costs. Like I was messing with this, I thought it was like 2 or less, and I had an edict in there in one of my shadow decks, and went in there and tried to get the edict and didn't show up. And I'm like, ah, no. So it has to be exactly the cost, which is why my market was full of 2 cost cards. But again, each faction has has a market card similar to this. Let's go ahead and put it on that. Let's go crafting. And as you can see them all right here, and you see they're all 1-drops except for the shadow one, which is the unit. Like when it comes to these cards, it's like one faction just has to be different. You know, but he does have ambush, so if you're facing a shadow deck, be careful of 2 ambushing market givers. You know, and this guy is unblockable with the option to steal a card from the opponent's market. But again, that's what the time one does. This is the primal. You see 4 cost. I think the time one is 5 cost, and the shadow is a 1 cost. So, oh wait, Justice doesn't have one? Am I reading that right? Yeah, it doesn't look like Justice has one of these cards. Alright, so that's just a bonus unit for an extra way for shadow users to get into market. I did not realize that. But again, it has to be for the cost. So if you're going to put this card in your deck, make sure you have a 1 cost card, a card that costs 1 in your market. And I know why there was time in the deck, because I did have a time, the time touch in the market, and it doesn't have to be anything related to what your deck is building. Like if I was to cast Blazing Salvo on a unit, I could go in there and grab a Pure Shadow Guard and come in there and get this touch of resilience. So they're not locked down like the market units are by by their single faction. Then lastly, let's get over to the relics. So, and I'm gonna go legendary on this one just because all of them are legendary. So each one of the speakers, which is Linray, Makar, Grodov, Kodash, all of them have a relic that is based off, or that's named after them. I went ahead and crafted the Linray's Codex for the purpose of this because you can just use this for a whole bunch of goodies. I mean, if you love drawing cards, this is awesome. If you're running an inspired deck, you know, with Ahmed and the armadillo and everything, this is a good option. You know, especially if you have like 5 or 6 units out there that are single faction. You know, you'll draw 6 cards and bonuses, 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 and it doesn't cost that much. It costs 6. You know, mix it with time or justice if you're really desperate for power. I mean, it's not that hard to get up to 6, and nowadays, depending on how you run that deck, just to have 6 power just to use this ability exclusively. Well, like I said, Shafka's is right there. Grodov's, which is pretty cool. They all have a spell spellcraft function on it and a pay function on them. Makar's is pretty interesting too. You load up a fire shadow deck with Stone Scar with a bunch of quick draw. This is going to be ridiculous and find some way to discard like a Vara, you know, Vara Scion or something like that, or just some really ridiculously big unit. I mean, you could even put in that one unit, that dinosaur, that freaking primal dinosaur that prevents you from casting spells. Put that in there and just load up on a quick draw. Give them 8 every turn. Which doesn't say it's for the turn. So I think that power buff is permanent, and you go into your void if that unit dies for whatever reason, and just pull it out, and they sit there and have to deal with it again. So all of these relics are, like I said, are just absolutely amazing. That's basically what I wanted to cover today. I do want to get this. I mean, it's total 12 cost, but I mean, witching hour is cost 24. I mean, you get witching hour down to 0, but witching hour at 12, especially if you're not running a bunch of units and playing a bunch of cards, in whatever unit you play that weapon on, gets all the abilities of the horseman, why not? Yeah, as you can see, there's just a bunch of interesting and amazing legendary cards in here. Anyway, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this video. Hope you did enjoy. I hope you did learn a lot in some of these new mechanics that are going on, and hopefully you come up with some strategies of your own. If you decide to get into this and use these cards to their own ability, you're always free to let me know what you think. Down there in Discord, we can share decks and everything like that over there on Discord. So if you're really going to get into Eternal, make sure you join my Discord. And the Discord for the game as well, which I honestly need to get more active in. But yeah, I hope you did enjoy this video. And like I said, it clears up some of the confusion with a lot of these new Echoes of Eternity cards. And I shall see you later, gamer.